Hola, bom dia,
Feliz Ano Novo.
which means
Happy New Year.
And thanks for tuning in to our continuing adventure, what it's like to live here in Portugal. If you're a first time viewer, thank you very much. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you've been with us for a while, thank you very much for your support. After Christmas, we headed south to São Martinho de Porto to celebrate New Year's with friends of ours who live in this town.
Wow, this was a darling place. It was unbelievable how pretty it was. It's on the ocean, and they have this incredible bay with a very relatively small inlet. And the
Yeah,
ocean comes in and it makes this circular praia. The bay is pretty much round, and there
it's
was
amazing.
ruins on one side from where Vasco da Gama,
Where they
they
built his
built
boats.
ships.
Yeah,
This
his
is some old
ships.
ruins. It's really, really gorgeous. And we heard from our friends that when it's summertime, the beach is so sandy and gorgeous. It's just perfect for families, and they say it's just pretty much solid families with children all playing because there's like hardly any surf, just very
Just a little
minimal
bit. It's
little baby
fascinating. Yeah,
waves. And yeah, and it's gorgeous.
yeah.
So
It is really very unique. It's like a swimming pool
it
made
is.
by the ocean
Yeah, it's real
that through this
cool.
little inlet, but it is
You'll see some
wonderful.
pictures.
Yeah, and it's about 230 kilometers south, almost to Lisbon. And we took the train down. Took us a couple of maybe 2.5 hours, and it was great. One of the things I really liked there was the fact that we could be on this very quiet bay. There's a boardwalk to the river that feeds the bay, which also has its own beach. And then with a short walk, we were on these cliffs, these bluffs overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. Another beautiful beach down below. But what was unique the day we went up there was clear, some clouds, a nice breeze, and paragliding. They were launching right off of this bluff area and right up the coast to the north. You could see the beach town of Nazaré, where the big surf happens. I think the waves were just 20 foot that day up in
Yeah.
Nazaré, but they get up to 100 feet tall. So
Yeah, it's pretty
anyway,
spectacular. And oh, and in walking around the boardwalk,
oh
like
yeah,
you said, there is a tunnel through the through the cliff area or through
yeah,
like the small mountain there to get to the other side where the rocky coast is, and just
yeah, just a lot of
gorgeous,
interesting
just
aspects
very interesting.
and food.
Of course, we're going to tell you about that.
And we like to try to find those little spots that are like mom and pop. Maybe we had one of the, and our friends already had these scoped out. One of them was run by a wife and husband. He cooks, she waits on tables. Need a reservation to
Wow, that
get
was
in there.
great.
Pretty, really good home cooking, and
Oh,
it was
really
it
good.
was really good,
And
really
they say on
delicious.
Friday nights they have somebody playing the guitar in there. But we were there on Saturday
Yeah,
night, and this was really crazy.
I would say it was a highlight. What you're going
What
to talk
what I'm
about.
gonna? Oh my gosh. Okay, so there they have the bombeiros, and those are the volunteer firefighters. They have like a cafe. They have a like tavern.
Yeah,
They serve dinner and lunch and unbelievable, and it was so good. Okay,
yeah.
tell.
Well, it's called the Incendio Cafe.
Incendio.
Um, and we went in there
Perfect
for
name.
lunch. All local people sitting around. The food was great. We had like an octopus rice dish. We had big carafe of wine. We had soup to start with, um, and we had plenty of bread and olives.
But one of
But
the coolest things,
yeah,
tell,
well,
so
there's
cool.
this. We're sitting there for a minute. All of a sudden, we notice there's this kid moving around the tables. I'd say what maybe
He sat our
he
table. He
sat our
put a
table.
tablecloth
He put the
down.
tablecloth on, all the silverware, brought us bread. I watched him get the bread. He used the glove to pull the bread out
I think
of
he
the
was 7
bin.
or 8 years old.
So this young man, I'm watching him, and he knows his job. He's not like there going, "Oh, what should I do?" He knew his job. He was watching the tables. He brought the bread. He set the table. He cleaned. He was cleaning tables off. He was even making coffee
In the
at
fancy coffee machines
yeah
that
at the
Europe
coffee
has everywhere.
maker. he was
Espresso-
delivering
espressos.
wine. Now I know, U.S. They go, what? This kid's
Yeah,
he
he's delivering
he
wine.
was serving the tables, helping to serve the tables, and it was just fascinating to watch him as he interacted with the adults that were working there too. I think his
He was
mom
so
worked there,
polite.
and he was so
And you could
polite.
say, obrigada to him,
Yeah.
and he said de nada.
Yeah.
And he would just be focused on
He was all
doing
business,
all business, all perfection. And anyway, when we left, we talked to the senora.
Yeah.
And obviously,
Yeah.
that's his mom.
Yeah.
And, and just told her how impressed we were and how everything was so
Right.
good. And told her that her son was, in the best way we could tell her, that we were appreciating her son.
And what I was also impressed with was the fact that they asked me if I wanted seconds, if
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanted more.
Oh my gosh.
So everything was included. Like I said, the soup,
Seconds.
the wine, the main dish, whatever else we had to go with it, 11 euros each.
Mhm.
And it's amazing how you can get such great fresh food in these cafes for such an affordable price. And then to be asked if you want seconds, I was
Well,
like,
they
oh,
didn't say it seconds. They said, do you
you want more? Right.
Mais?
But
Mais?
mice, yeah. So I was
No
full. I
mice.
said, no, thank you. But wow,
Oh,
what a
right.
concept, right?
So cool. Yeah.
So,
So-
again, this town is flat, walkable. The highlight, of course, we were there for New Year's Eve. And what a party.
Oh my goodness.
Right along the beach.
Well, they say that the people come from surrounding areas to this because of the beautiful bay, and it's just spectacular. I guess the reflection from the water when the fireworks go. And they hired, they had one of those big trucks that come and unfold and have a big band stage, and they had a band. And then they also had a disc jockey down at the other end.
Yeah, it was great.
And there's a lot of
It was
music
rocking
and a
out.
lot of stuff. And then they had the fireworks display. It was so fun because everybody's wanting to just have a good time. It's very similar to the energy that we feel here at São João when everybody's out to party, only on a very smaller scale. Here, it's lots and lots of people of all ages.
Yes.
There, it's not so many people of all ages, and it was more relaxed. So if crowds really bother you for festivals, I would say go to a town like that or go to that because, wow, it was just more kind of low-key.
Basically, it was
fabulous.
Everybody just walking up and down the promenade right at the beach. And when it came time for the fireworks, they were right out in the bay.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody just walked out onto the beach and just stood there and watched.
Yeah, not too crazy.
There were people with their kids in the strollers, on their shoulders, people our age. Some people, I think, maybe older, but they were dancing.
Really, there are older ones.
Kathleen was dancing on the sidewalk with somebody she didn't
wanted
know.
To dance, and she was so cute, and we did.
So it was just a really small town feel of enjoying, welcoming in the new year. And then the next day, New Year's Day, we were there for the morning and left in the afternoon. Well, we went to get something to eat. Had some great burgers at this one place. I think it's called
I was craving a burger.
There weren't a lot of places open on New Year's Day, but this place was right on the beach. And our server was he was straight out. He was like taking care of the whole patio area, and he was busting it. He still had a smile on his face. We didn't connect a lot as we were getting our food, but when I went to check out, I went to pay our bill. He added up, I paid him, and he just looked at me, put his hand on my shoulder, and he smiled and said, Feliz Ano Novo. And he took just that brief moment to make sure he connected with me, and we just smiled at each other.
Just extra little moments, which happen all the time. It's like it's like many Portuguese, I would like to say all, I don't know if all do, but many do, take an extra moment to get some kind of connection or to give a connection because they desire connection.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
So would we live here? We would not choose to live in Sao Martinho de Porto. Again, great place. We would definitely visit again. We have our friends there. They obviously live there, and they talk to us about having to get on the train to go to the next town for different services like groceries, There are places to get groceries in Sao Martinho, but like for the Pingo Dos or the Continent and medical care too, seems like they have to travel. So for us, that's not overly appealing, and also it's not a transportation hub, so it's not as easy to get to other parts of Portugal.
Right, right. So yeah, for us, we like to walk everywhere and like have the other options available, and like for a variety of reasons. I mean, we can go somewhere and we can either take feet, we can take many times metro, and almost always bus. And sometimes there's a combination of bus and metro if you want to do. There's a lot of different things, and then you've got the buses that go to the different towns from here, and you've got all the trains because we have two train stations here
Yes.
in the city. Amazing, guys. Why would we want to go and put ourselves in a place where we feel we have to buy a car? That's one of the reasons why we're so happy here. So right.
So a big thank you to our friends in Sao Martinho,
Mhm.
because had they not invited us, we would have not gotten the opportunity
We would
to
never go
travel
yet.
to another
Not this
town
year.
and take a look at it, experience this big celebration, and also look at it from our perspective of, oh, this is someplace that would be desirable for us to live. Like I said,
It was
definitely
lovely.
visit. It
We
was
loved
lovely.
it. It was great. Good experience.
Thank you again for tuning in. We love putting these together. We love sharing what it's like to live here in Portugal. If you have any questions or any desire to, gain more information, just email us. All the information is down below. We also do video chats. Again, that's in the description of below. So I think that's pretty much it.
That's pretty good.
And if you've watched this before, you're probably waiting for the ending. If this is your first time, we always end by asking,
What adventure are you on today?